welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. I'm your host Mikey. Today I'm going to show you how to use the Cricut 15-inch loom by Schacht. There's also a 10-inch tabletop loom as well, and this is actually really fun and simple, and you'll be very surprised at how quick it takes in order to make up a scarf. So let's go over some of the basics first. So let's pretend that I've just run out of yarn. So what I'm going to just do is I'm going to stick in my stick shuttle and pretend that I've just run out of yarn, and I'm just going to come down and I'm just going to snip it. Okay, I want to make sure I just get the right one, and I want to snip it in the one direction. Okay, so let's pretend that was the actual end of the line. I want to make sure it's kind of like within the 3/4 to the middle section. I want to beat it just like so, and you're going to use your fingers because you can see that there's some slack on there. So you just slide in your fingers and just beat it just like this, and we want to leave it in the up position. So we want to leave it in the same position, because what we would do is that we'd grab more yarn from the actual yarn ball, wind this thing up again, and we just want to come in and we want to drag the string so it's about an inch overlap up to where the other one finished, just like that. And what I want to now do is, because the beater bar is in the up position, I want to kind of just beat it in. And what I just do is I come up on an angle like this, and what that does is that it equals off that whole thing. And I'm just not going to worry about that particular piece here. So now that I've got that in, I'm just going to continue to weave as normal for a couple more times before I come back and I address that section. You can address it at the end of your project or while you're in that project. Okay, so it's the last one I'm going to do. Okay, just come up on an angle, just like so. Okay, down. And so what you can just do now is that you can just take your scissors and just really gently cut it, and you would never know where you stopped and started when you do it from that process. And because this is transitioning yarn, you're going to want to make sure you really pay attention to doing that properly, because you will not see any different effects happening within your project. So everything is pretty much predictable. The next situation we have is that we've now grown our material and we're getting closer to the heddle. So now we want to back this off, and what we're going to just do now is that we're just going to release the break over here. So we're just going to take some tension off, release it, let it fall there, and we just want to grab this and pull it over. The same rule exists on this section over here. So this paper is now done over here. So I'm just going to slip in the paper or a placemat, depending on what you're using. And we're just going to come up underneath. And so when we go to wrap around this bar on the front, we also want to wrap, because what's going to happen is the knots on the apron strings or on the apron bar is going to actually cause it to be unequal. Okay, so we're just going to do that. Okay, and we're just going to put the brake back on, release the tension, or give it some tension, again nice and stiff, and you can just beat it and then continue to loom as usual. So you can see in this particular project that the yarn that I'm using right now is totally changing the look of the yarn that is going in the whole direction of it, the whole length. And I think that's one thing that's really amazing about weaving, is that you can pull off some really amazing looks. I didn't plan this, I've never done anything like this particular sample. So this is really just a live action of creativity, of just taking a guess and seeing what would work and what doesn't. I've only ever thrown out one scarf so far because it just looked too like a placemat, or it looked too much like a tablecloth actually. It was done with the Christmas colors and it really sucked. Really sucked. So, so it doesn't always work for everything, but you know, I kind of was questioning the Christmas colors anyway, so I think it's, you know, I think I subconsciously knew it wasn't going to work, but I did it anyway because that's just the kind of guy I am. For comfort level, you're going to want to put this on a table so that you can sit. I like to sit over this machine. I don't like for me to be reaching up over. So what I've been doing is that I've been using a computer chair on a regular table to kind of elevate me, so that I'm up over this machine, so I'm not leaned up over it, and I tuck myself really good in underneath the table,
So this machine is almost like one with my body, and makes it really quick and easy to follow. So you can also see the stick shuttle that I'm using. I've gotten used to using it, and I'm kind of looking, see how there's not enough yarn? So what I want to just do is that I want to click it off, so when I go up underneath, it's just going to peel another layer off of the stick shuttle. You don't have to do that every time. The reason for it is that the stick shuttle length and the scarf doesn't always match. So basically every few passes you don't need to do that. So you just let the excess of material just kind of feed off. So when you're doing this, people automatically think that, you know, it looks really tight on the loom, and that's because the tension's been pulled on it. But as soon as you release this tension, this whole piece of material turns into really nice, super soft. Even this, the Super Saver that's known for being a little bit of abrasive, you'll be shocked on how soft it can be when it's done in a weaving project, just like so. One thing I also like about the transitional yarn is that it prevents me from having to use different strings for different colors. So as this is growing in the vertical direction, just like so, it is slowly changing color to match the red or the Lion Brand Amazing yarn that I'm using. And so basically within a foot, you're going to start seeing a really nice, amazing effect of it. The downfall to this weaving, I find, is that you want to see your project as it's growing. It's not like it's crochet or knitting where you can see it all growing. Because it's being wrapped up on this side, you don't always get a good idea what it looks like. So it's almost a bit of a surprise when you go to do this particular project at the end to see if you did it actually really good job. You can actually unwind it on this side and actually take a look if you're that curious. I'm not sure I recommend it, but I've done it many times. So just be very careful when you do that so you don't wreck any of the tension within any of the strings. As mentioned before, when you're using the weaving back and forth, the thickness of this yarn that I'm using right now is judging how many times I'm going to need to go back and forth before I'm done this entire project. So this is a bit of a thinner yarn, so I'm going to have to do it more than it would be for something that would be chunky. Seems like that's obvious, but I figure that's a great tip to share anyway. So I noticed that I made a mistake, and I can see that I have gone over some of the strings that I should have actually went under. So what I'm going to just do now is that I've just come across this direction, so I'm going to reverse myself back. And what I have to be very careful is that I'm capturing all the strings, and in actual fact I'm not going to capture it properly. So I got to push down exactly what happened in order to create that jump like I did. So it's just in that one section there, and I'm just going to pull and reverse out, just like so. And I don't have to pull it all the way out, but I can just put it back in now and just double check by just moving it closer, and everything's fine. And it's just a quicker way to double check. I noticed with myself though that I don't always catch that right away, and so sometimes I just have to back up a few rows in order to do it. But it is worth it because it's very obvious if you miss it.
So this is it. This will finish off your lesson for today. You can move on to the next lesson. The choices will be on the screen. And you know what? You can just propel yourself. It doesn't take much time to do one of these projects, so you might be able to do this whole video series today as you're following along on my tutorial. Until next time, I'm Mikey from the Crochet Crowd.